I remember I was told when I said SIP book will become from $1 billion to $3 billion. We are at 26,000 crore SIP book. And I'm telling you, we'll have 50 crore demat accounts in a matter of time. We have 22 crore people playing Dream 11 now. So the nature of warfare has changed. It's more modern, it's more technical, so it's more drones, it's more surveillance, it's high tech.
One sector that's failing really badly in innovation is tech.
I agree with you. There will be some winners, there will be some losers in IT services which are doing more software, more IP driven work. I think will survive.
So tell us a little more about your investment, philosophy.
My Dadaji used to say, in Punjabi used to say, कि जित्थे मेहनत है उत्थे रहमत है. Right? So if you don't work hard, you will not get his blessings. And I'm a firm believer in that. On stocks, you have to work hard. You can't buy and forget. Daily clients are very funny, huh? And he told me, he said, Gurmeet, आराम से पैसा बनाएगा तो 15 साल लगेंगे. जल्दी में तो 25 साल लगेंगे. I go to Omaha every year. Just to listen to the old man. 50,000 people coming to listen to a guy who's 93 years old and saying long-term investment.
So what do you think will be the big theme over the next 5 to 10 years? Hey guys, welcome to The Money Mindset. Today on the show, I have someone with me who I've known for like over 10 years maybe, and someone who is an ace stock picker who's always called the market trends right. Gurmeet Chadha of Complete Circle is here with us. Gurmeet, thank you so much for being on The Money Mindset.
Thank you for having me, Sonia, and I admire the call you have taken. Being an entrepreneur now, and so, I had to be here. I was just waiting for you to call.
I was waiting to have you on the show because I remember we've been discussing stocks since maybe well beyond, before 2020.
Yes.
And, we used to have that show Smart Money
Yes.
in my earlier channel. And since then,
Yes.
your stock picking has been bang on. So today, I have so much to learn from you. And yes, thank you for your, wishes, because you've had the similar journey, right?
Yes.
You were with Citibank and then you kind of moved to entrepreneurship.
Right.
How was that for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's a great experience. Initially, it's always unnerving to leave a well-paying job. You left CNBC after being there for so long. But then I think it's your calling, right? Everybody should pursue their calling. And I told you earlier that, love and entrepreneurship happens to you.
Yeah.
So it has happened, and now I'm really enjoying this part of the career.
So a lot of people know you from your Complete Circle journey, but not too many people know that you are from a very small town.
Yes.
You have no finance background.
Absolutely.
You are not a CA, CFA, nothing. So how did you stumble upon the stock markets?
See, so I come from a small place called Sagar in Madhya Pradesh, and my father was a general merchant. We were distributors for Dabur, Colgate, Pidilite, and I always loved managing money because when you are from a business background. But one mistake we did as a family was we never took care of our cash flows. So those days you were doing more cash sales, right? So we had a couple of off seasons because we used to do a lot of seasonal stuff, etc. So there was drought, and MP is a very agrarian economy. So 2-3 साल खराब गए बहुत, and we had to suffer huge losses. And that's when I realized that, putting cash to work, so, creating asset out of income is important. And then there's sometimes you have a natural flair for it. And being from a small town, I always used to envy a lot of my friends who were in Delhi, who used to, speak well English. I was doing MP board till about 8th standard. CBSE actually came in 9th standard when I was there. So I always wanted to catch up with some of my friends, cousins who were in metros, And that attracted me towards pursuing education outside Sagar. And that's when I did my MBA, and you're right, I'm MBA in marketing. So one myth is
finance background.
No finance background. So there's a myth that you need to be a finance guy, you need to know balance sheets very well, you need to do formulas very well. I think it is all commonsensical.
Wow. So from Sagar, a small town in MP, to Delhi.
Yes.
When did that journey happen? When did you go to Delhi?
So 2002 was a bad year, dot-com bubble. So campus was a washout. So on day 0, ACC Cement came to campus. I wanted to join a bank or an investment because I wanted to get into banking and stock market. But I took the offer because there was none. So ACC thought that since I am a Punjabi, they should give me Delhi and Punjab. So they didn't realize that I'm from Sagar. So I got my first post in Delhi, and then I was posted to Chandigarh.
Okay.
But after a year or so, the markets recovered, and then I joined HDFC Bank. From there, my financial market journey started. Okay. Because in 2004, we used to get ESOPs in those days. HDFC actually used to give employee stock options even at assistant manager grade, at the entry grade. Wow. Right? So they used to give you 1,000, 2,000 shares depending upon your grade, performance grade.
Not bad.
That days. And
it doesn't happen anymore though.
Now they give, but they are at a certain grade, like VP and above. And so there are personal banker, tellers who are still with HDFC, who have retired with 20, 30, 40 crores of HDFC Bank shares.
Wow.
So that was my first, you can call it encounter.
That was your first job?
First job was ACC Cement
Haan,
through
ACC,
campus.
uske
HDFC
paas
is
HDFC.
where first encounter with stock market
With
options.
stock
and stocks.
markets. And in what year did you start your own investment journey?
When I realized I made a mistake quitting HDFC Bank, so somebody offered me a 30% hike, and shares are supposed to be vested in 3 years. ESOPs have to be vested in 3 years. But I thought, I was earning 25,000 a month. Somebody offered me 35,000, and I was young, hardly 24, 25 at that point of time. I took the offer, I let go of the shares. And in a couple of years, people who stayed back told me that, they have made X lakhs just by the...
Okay.
So I realized, what did I leave? And from 2006, I started buying. So I wanted to cover up whatever shares, FOMO. So I started buying 10 shares of HDFC Bank every month. So that was my first, you can call it investment. And then I started some SIPs also, just to catch up with that. But to tell you, I still haven't caught up. Had I just continued getting those ESOPs, probably would have made more money.
No, but you started in 2010 buying 10 HDFC shares every month.
Yeah.
So you do that till today?
Still today, yeah.
You must. It must be like worth a fortune right now.
No, it's pretty good. So I've done some backward calculations, Sonia. So I said I need to have, for example, 10,000 HDFC Bank shares. I need to have 5,000 Reliance. I need to have 10,000 ITC. So I made some quantity goals. That this is what I want to have. Then I said, okay, this much units I want to have for mutual fund. And then I did a reverse calculation. How do I need to do? So initially your salary is less. So you start with a small amount, and you keep
Adding to
stepping up. And first few years you realize, yeah, it's not doing much, it's not adding up. Kuch ho hi nahi raha hai. First 3-4 years, because the amount invested is so small. But once you cross that, I think 15-20 lakh on your portfolio value, that's when the reality sets in. That's when you see movements happening in lakhs, right? So I always say, it's not the first
power of
crore.
compounding.
It's the first 10-20 lakhs actually which gets you a hook. So that's why the first 3-4 years are very important.
But then, how is this? So you've always told me, right, or taught me rather, that you should buy 5-10 shares every month of a big company, of a large cap company, like do an SIP in stocks.
Yeah.
But how is that different from buying, say, an index fund? It's pretty much the same thing, right?
No, so it's not one against the other. A lot of people, in social media also, I made this competition about. I still do SIPs. So I have my first SIP was Reliance Growth Fund, which I started in 2006-07. I stopped it in 2008. I made that mistake when the market crashed. But I again restarted. So that 3,000 SIP is still continuing up, by the way.
3,000 rupees per month.
That I didn't stop because, it was my first SIP, right?
Okay.
That value is today 31 lakhs. So 3,000 a month, done 15 years back, is 31 lakhs. Why do I know? Because I just, had to buy a house, so I was taking note of where to pull out money from.
Okay.
So, the first mistake we do is we start doing this competition. I always say, if you can get that thing, Madhu Kela used to be the fund manager. If you can get a Naren or a Madhu Kela or a Parag Parekh or those guys at 1.5% fees in a mutual fund, and that too by giving 3, 4, 5,000 rupees a month, might as well take it. Right?
They're geniuses.
Yeah. And stock SIP is complementing your mutual fund SIPs or an index fund SIPs. I still do 50-50. So despite being an active portfolio manager myself, my 50% savings still goes towards SIPs in mutual funds and index funds.
Wow, that's interesting. So you said you do SIPs in individual stocks as well, and you buy mutual funds also.
Yep.
So if you had to build a portfolio, right, for people who are, say, starting now, to do an SIP in, say, 5 or 6 stocks, how would you do it? What kind of profile would you look at?
Yeah. So, first thing you should do is that if you don't have the time, you don't have the flair, you can't devote. So I say stock picking is becoming a promoter. You're buying a share of the company. You have to behave like what the promoter does. Be involved, track the company and everything. If you can't do any of that, stick to mutual funds. A lot of people have done a great job. There are 10 mutual funds, Sonia, where the NAV is more than 1,000. So there are 100 baggers. So a lot of people think stocks are 100 baggers. There are 10 mutual funds where the NAVs have gone up more than 100x. Nippon Growth Fund, the NAV is 3,300. This is 330x in the last 30 years, right? So stick to MF. If you don't, you don't understand much. Stock SIP, you should start if you want to generate a little alpha over what the nebula. It may not come, and you have some passive income because shares also give you dividends, right? Over a period of time, there'll be bonus and buybacks. So it gives you some more cash flows than your normal mutual funds. So 5 things, very simple things. First, choose your circle of competence. I was a banker. I started with HDFC Bank, Bajaj Finance. My friends were there, and so I used to understand banks, how they work, what is net interest income, what is NPA and all that. So the bulk of the portfolio is still financial. It will be probably 40-50%, Nifty is 33%. Second, build three, over a period of time you learn, you make mistakes, right? So we developed this formula, okay, which I'll share with you. We call this miles. Miles, right? My partner is a marathon runner. I used to also. So that's Kshitij. So that's miles. So M is for margin expansion and sales growth. So for example, we picked up Uno Minda in our portfolio as a stock SIP.
And ancillary
that's why I'm just giving an example. And I've been invested in 2016 since Uno Minda. And he was a client. So I used to manage his money during my Citibank days. So I saw.
Minda?
Yeah. The Paridhi and Nirmal, the entire family we used to converse with. The PAT growth, if you see for Minda, it's about 23%. The sales growth is around 19%. So if your margin is expanding with revenue, every 100 rupees more in sales is more than 100 rupees in profit because the margins are growing. So first is M, miles, which is margin and sales, right? Second is innovation. I mean, what is the company doing? And innovation can be anything. It doesn't have to be technology alone. So Uno Minda, again, coming back to the same example, did so many tech tie-ups. They did not have all the technology. They did some 20-30 JVs. Started as a switch company. Now is making alloy wheels, infotainment systems, airbags, EVs and whatnot. So second is innovation in your DNA. There's another company we kept talking, which was Solar Industries. This has been one of my 20-30 bagger. I don't have any 100 baggers. I mean, a lot of people boost that, but I have some 10-20 baggers.
No, listen, 20-30 baggers. I remember we discussed Solar Industries when it was, I think, 800 rupees.
Yes.
And today the stock is 13,000.
13,000. New high today, actually.
And new highs. Every year, every month, it's making new highs. So, okay, so Solar Industries is another case in point where margin profile has gone up. And the second you said, innovation.
So they were making explosives. So they moved from product to platforms. Today they are making explosive systems. Pinaka multi-barrel rocket system, drones, UAVs. I mean, whenever you get time, I'm sure you will, just go to Nagpur and just visit the site. I was fortunate to visit their site. I went with the SBI folks. And they were actually doing a live testing of a hand grenade they had made.
Wow.
And Mr. Nuwal, my father-in-law is from Nagpur.
Achha.
So he used to, in 80s, 90s, come on a scooter to take orders of explosives. So he's that grounded, the owner, huh?
The owner of Solar?
Yeah, today it's a 1.3 lakh crore market cap company. And any customer complaint, he used to himself come on telephone and try and so.
But I remember you had very high conviction in Solar even before the entire market kind of discovered that stock. So how do you have conviction?
Yeah.
I mean, you've been telling me your methodology, but go ahead. For something like a Solar, how did you have the conviction?
So, so once you see, which is third aspect, which is learning, in miles, right? All the guys who have made wealth, I found them great learning machines. Look at Elon Musk. We say he's from a different planet. Look at Steve Jobs, unfortunately no longer with us. Shree Cement promoter, Mr. Banger, used to give CAT exams with his son, just to keep his mind sharp. Wow. Right? So what I've seen, the best of the guys are great learning machines. So I met John T. Rhodes, last week, and he was saying, I used to tell everyone, just save one run in the match. Just save one run. Do one extra effort during your day. So I keep telling investors that, as an investor, as a promoter, if you're learning one extra thing, every time you're trying to do something, I think that reflects in the culture, eventually in the balance sheet also.
100%.
So L is, the learning, E is ethics. Extremely important, Sonia. In our country, unfortunately, this is one area which probably needs more attention by regulator. And good thing with India is who are good promoters and bad promoters. So India
especially in this day and age of social media.
बिल्कुल मुश्किल नहीं है और नहीं भी था तब भी पता था. So for example, Murugappa Group, great promoter, right? HDFC Bank, very good promoter. Infosys, great promoter, right? Asian Paints. So you exactly know Tata Group, great promoter. You also know what is also good promoter without taking names. I don't want to get into controversy. So don't, as a retail investor, I'm not here to give a chance that this guy's heart is turned around, right? Let's go with what has worked, in the past. So E stands for ethics. S is for scale. I think this is where you get a multi-bag. So can this 100 rupees profit become 1,000, 2,000, 3,000? What is the size of the opportunity? For example, let's say CDSL. It's a capital market play, right?
It's been one of your favorite stocks for years.
So, I'm a finance guy, so typically I told you, that's my area. So do what works for you. So we were 2 crore demat accounts CDSL had for COVID. Today it is 15 crores. Right? And I'm telling you on your show, I remember I was trolled when I said SIP book will become from $1 billion to $3 billion. This is 2 years back, and people said, 20 साल लग गए 8,000 करोड़ किसी book होने में. He's saying कि 25,000 करोड़ हो जाएगी. We are at 26,000 crore SIP book, right? And I'm telling you, we'll have 50 crore demat accounts in a matter of time. We have 22 crore people playing Dream 11 यहाँ. और 4 करोड़ लोग सिप्स करते हैं.
I know.
I mean, such a long.
But इतना discrepancy क्यों है? People rather like gamble
You know
than
that
do
urge of
SIPs.
making quick money, plus maybe the love for the cricket. You want to be involved every day. So I think this is a clear place. What is the size? The size is, your base became 5x in 4 years. CDSL is 11x since IPO. Right, so people keep talking of BSE and NSE, something like a depository. And depository, the best part, it makes money everything you do. I call it network effect. Once you make a network, then you create effect around it. So you do transaction, account maintenance charges, KYC, e-voting. You do anything, they will make money. And jokingly, I used to call it a toll naka stock. It takes toll from you. When you are in the financial market, doing in and out.
कुछ ना कुछ से कहीं से
Size,
पैसे
it's
बनाता
the
रहता
scale.
है.
When in solar, I saw defense as a huge opportunity. I thought these guys, the way they were innovating, making new products. I mean, today, for example, a Pinaka rocket is 450 crores. Now, if you do an export order, and chances are we'll get a lot of export orders. One missile and the system is worth 450, 500 crores.
But do you think the story has played out in solar?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
Because it's huge run already.
No, I mean, I look at 2030. I don't look at 25, 26. So I mean, obviously, it will have its ups and downs. It was 8,000 rupees 2 months back.
Yeah.
It's 13, right? Look at this way. We are doing a arms reset in this new Trump 2.0, right? Who would have thought Germany will do $500 billion of defense and infra spending? They've actually done this after World War II. So every country will look after themselves now. And every country would try to build capabilities. And see, all large countries may do it from US. Solar is getting orders from countries like Armenia, Philippines, Vietnam. You will not go to US for a 500 crore order, no? 1,000 crore order. So I think the opportunity to rearm with the new, people call it World War III, economic warfare 3, I think is huge. So
anything else in defense that you like?
See, I used to like HL, but I think there are a lot of it. See, the nature of warfare has changed. If you send a pilot today for the war, Abhinandan got trapped in the last war. Such hue and cry. Who would risk sending a 1,000 crore Rafale with your fighter pilot?
Correct.
You might as well fire missiles sitting at home surface. So the nature of warfare has changed. It's more modern, it's more technical, so it's more drones, it's more surveillance, it's high tech. And I think HAL to that extent it will be still steady because we need more aircrafts, and HAL makes 60% through maintenance. But I think the opportunity is in high tech in defense. Somebody who's really disrupting. So for example, we don't have an Iron Dome like Israel. Solar is developing one. It's called a micro missile system. Right? We have a 1,400 kilometer border in north, which we need to cover properly. LAC itself is very difficult. They say you give as many soldiers to the mountain will take all of them. It's very difficult to guard a mountain. We have such good neighbors, right? So you need a surveillance. So if you want to build a surveillance, per kilometer cost is some 13, 14 crores in terms of monitoring it. Now imagine if you have to just secure the border all three ways. We have Bangladesh, we have China, we have Pakistan. We unfortunately are blessed with not so good neighbors. So I just think the focus
Scope
would be
of work is very large.
Security.
But then why did the stock fall so much? It went to 8,000 because of the market correction.
Yeah. So the stock went up from 600 to so it's high beta stocks will fall. Also, it's an expensive stock. It trades at 60, 70 earning multiples. So wherever you make money, you pull out the most.
So at what point do you decide that okay, now it's falling, now I should exit? Or did you ride this entire rally and you stuck on till 13,000?
No, I have made mistakes. I have my fair share of mistakes where I did not exit at the right time. I think Deepak Nitrite was one. I didn't see the chemical cycle turning. I made a mistake with Sun Pharma. It was 1,400 in 2014. It still there almost. So I've had my fair share of mistakes.
But that way, if you see even something in HDFC Bank, 3 years it did nothing. It was in that 1,400-1,500 range, frustrating investors for the longest time. Abhi jaake it started to perform little
but with HDFC and Bajaj Finance, the EPS was still doubling every 3-4 years. With Sun Pharma, the margins came down to 6%. So that's why I said Miles starts with them. I think key here is margin and sales growth. If that is sustaining and the price is not moving, it's an opportunity.
Okay, so in Miles, you said innovation, right?
Yeah.
One sector that's failing really badly in innovation is tech.
Yeah.
Right? Infosys, you mentioned, great company, amazing management, all of that. But innovation is they're just not able to crack it. The entire sector, I guess.
I think somewhere we'll have to see. I think I agree with you. There'll be some winners. There'll be some losers in IT services. I still think that I don't write off the entire sector just because AI will come, jobs will disappear. I think efficiency goes up, and I think GCC is another opportunity which is coming. And there are some niche players in tech. Look at, for example, Persistent. In this environment, it's still growing 4-5% quarter on quarter with 20% kind of a profile. Look at a KPIT. Numbers came today morning, right? And despite the slowdown in auto, and it's largely an auto software company. I think I was looking at one of its software called Aldo 4 or 5, which is autonomous driving. That's 10 times better than what some of the leading players have made. So a lot of it is IP. So companies which are doing more software, more IP-driven work, I think will survive. Companies who are just doing labor arbitrage in IT services will. So I think, to me, HCL Tech, KPIT, Persistent, you should watch out. Never write off. One thing I've learned is that never write off. People said PSU banks will finish. Prashant Jain kept buying PSU banks in 2021. And today HDFC FlexiCap is the best performing fund because he was buying PSUs those times because you were getting them at 0.2, 0.3 price to book. So maybe IT stocks, if you get it.
But there's also an opportunity cost that he had to bear, right? For so many years, his fund was not performing.
See, that is why I said, it's like, Sonia, it's like a team, no? Every player will not score a 50 or a century. See, as long as the team does well, which is your portfolio, sometimes your MF will do well, sometimes the index will outperform, sometimes some stocks will take the cake. As long as overall you're in the right direction, in the winning direction, it's okay. And kuch underperformance acha hai. It also means you're fully diversified. I always tell people that if there's underperformance, means somebody is thinking differently, right? And if the guy has seen few cycles, give him that time, right?
So this very nice philosophy you shared with us, Miles. Margins, innovation,
L for learning, E for ethics,
and S for scale. Okay, so can you identify some 4-5 companies which fit this entire framework?
So I think all 5. One thing which I got lucky was Tata Consumer, and very simple call. I'm a big coffee lover. So when Starbucks came to India, although Starbucks is still not profitable,
and it's not doing well anymore.
It's not doing well anymore. So I figured out. So I asked Kshitij and my team that where does this Tata Global Beverage Starbucks from? So there's a company called Tata Global Beverage. I think that time it was some 120, 130 rupees or something.
What is it today?
I think it's 1200, roughly about 1200, right? So FMCG basic company giving a 10x, right, in about 7-8 years. So we started drilling into what does it do. So tea, coffee is they make, right? So tea, coffee will grow at 5-10%. It's not a business where tea can give you 15% return, but they were gaining market share. They got into a product called Tata Sampann, right? So I was zapped when I looked at Tata Sampann. We consume, Sonia, 1.8 lakh crores of pulses in a year, which is dal, chana, rajma, urad, of which 85% is unorganized, right? So which means 1.5 lakh crores is unorganized out of 1.8 lakh crores. And Tata Consumer is 10% of organized. So there was a great opportunity in margin, in sales scaling up, ethics, no issues with Tata Consumer. And then we had a leadership change. Sunil D'Souza joined, the guy who turned. I mean, he's considered as one of the finest leaders, FMCG, and he kept adding more products. He said everything we'll consume will get branded. Breakfast cereals. So what has happened to a tea, coffee will happen to everything, in your kitchen shelf. And then COVID happened. Then people started buying more and more branded and hygienic, and so I think it was just a perfect, mild study. Simple, commonsensical business. Doesn't need any, tech and all. But they kept innovating, kept coming up with new products, new products on the kitchen shelf.
But what do you do when, like, in a Tata Consumer, something like a Starbucks is seeing intense competition now from local homegrown brands, right, coffee brands, and the future is not looking that bright for them. So as a stock investor in Tata Consumer, do you sort of back off, or do you expect that some of the other divisions will do better?
So you actually answered it yourself. It's on the growth levers. So Starbucks today is about less in single digit in terms of EBIT contribution. It's a negative contribution right now. So it doesn't impact I think the growth, the stability comes from tea, where they are the market leader, and the growth comes from Sampann. And now they are also trying to get into out-of-home consumption. Water. So you have the Himalaya water, and they have another. So the water is another segment. I'm very bullish on water. I think the next world war will be on water.
I-
We're
I
already
think-
seeing.
Same. There's always water shortage in Bombay at least, and in our buildings all the
Ask
time.
us in
Yeah,
Delhi.
and everyone is facing. It's a huge opportunity.
Huge opportunity. So it just ticks all boxes. But let's say if there is a business which is contributing 20-30% and that comes under pressure like startup, then obviously it's a red flag. But for now, I think it's okay. I mean, it's not too much in terms of moving the needle. But if it turns around, it will incrementally add to the scenario. So that fit in. Probably, I think solar also in miles fit in.
And any more check boxes that you have in the sense, how do you deal with, say, a company that's growing fast but has debt, or a company that's trending, like for example, quick commerce, right? Great business, all of us are used to it. But I was having this conversation with Rajiv Thakkar on this show a couple of weeks ago, and he said that yes, people will use it. Yes, it will be a trending product for years, but it's kind of like a winner takes all situation.
Yeah.
So out of 10 people, 9 will be loss making,
Yeah.
and 1 will only survive.
Always happens. No?
So
Look
how
at
do you
Amazon now, for example. So for Amazon, you have lost so many stores in US, JC Penney, and look at some of the. So so I think this new age definition needs a bit of a correction. I think we just get into only e-commerce when we discuss new age. To me, for example, a CDSL is as new age. A Geo, the kind of lending they are doing now. I mean, you should interact with the Geo team on the kind of stuff they are doing on innovative lending products on supply chain. I mean, you'll be amazed with the kind of work which is happening. Bajaj Finance to me is one of the best new age companies. Used to enter Vijay Sales or Chroma and used to have so many offers. Moment you select a product. To me that was tech. So I think it's I don't believe in that spray and pray. Ki aap 10-12 le lo and hope that something does well. I think one red flag to me is continuously cash flows not being there. Right? We saw that with Gensol.
Yes.
I mean, paper profit not translating into cash flow, is
That's a scary situation.
Is a very scary situation. And if that is leading to more inventory build up, more that it happened with Z, paper profit, no cash flows. So that to me is a red flag. Second, you're spending more and more to generate the same dollar of revenue, same rupee of revenue. So if you're spending less incrementally, then probably that model is scaling up. So for example, Zomato and Swiggy burnt about 12,000-14,000 crores in setting up food delivery ecosystem, right? Today we become so used to it, right? Quick commerce took only 6,000 crores, 7,000 crores, right? So once you have, once you make a network, I call this network effect. Once you have the platform, you've cracked the code, you have X number of unique users, it's easy to pivot and set up more revenue streams. Now look at District app, which is, call it as an experience economy. Ticketing, Diljit Dosanjh show was sold out. IPL tickets, I tried getting an RCB versus Delhi Capital ticket. I could not get it. It was sold out in like 10-15 minutes. So you are suddenly building, different models, and you will incrementally spend less money. So the difference between burn and spend is opening a dark store is not burning money. See, HUL opens a plant, you call it capex. They are opening a dark store. How is it a cash burn? At some point of time, that store will contribute to the.
Correct.
And I have a feeling, Sonia, this change of ownership where they're trying to become an Indian company, 49% thing, where they are. So that will have a short-term impact in terms of weightage getting reduced. The FI holding has to be brought up. I think there is something coming in retail at a policy level. That's my sense.
But okay, so hypothetically, I am a Zomato shareholder, Zomato and Swiggy.
Yeah.
You think in the next 5 years, 10 years, these are companies that will be profit-making machines?
I think odds are better for Zomato. Reason being, I think on quick commerce they are leading. And anybody who gets to 60-65 then takes it. So I think in food delivery it's 58%, if last number is correct. And quick commerce, I think Blinkit is edging a little ahead, and then you have Zepto and Swiggy Mart and others. So I think Zomato has a chance, but there could be a twist to the tail if Zepto does what it does. I think Zepto is being a little more aggressive than.
Are you a shareholder in quick commerce?
Yeah, I have Zomato in the portfolio.
Zomato.
I have Zomato in the portfolio.
So you're biased in that sense.
No,
your view.
I have Policy Bazaar in the portfolio. We are evaluating Nykaa now.
Okay.
Right. See, I just think, just look at this way, a 40-year-old, 50-year-old business of DMart was disrupted in 2 years by Blinkit.
Yeah.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, what makes you so bullish on Zomato? Because in a way, if you look at it, right? Like I was a Blinkit user.
Yeah.
If my product is not available on Blinkit, I go on to Zepto. If it's not available on Zepto, I go on to Zomato. There's no loyalty at all. Whichever platform gives me the cheapest rate, I will go there.
Sure.
There's no brand loyalty. There's no stickiness.
Sure.
There's so much competition.
Sure. No, but what is the first you go to?
It depends what I choose, like category, right? If I want something which is say more beauty oriented, then I will try perhaps Blinkit. If it's groceries, I will try BB Now. If it is, if it's iced tea, I'll go to Zepto. So I'm like,
you're aware. So
really no loyalty.
I think the first app you go to is the loyalty. So if you don't get there, you're going to the. It's like the first Kirana store you go to, which you are hold to. So also, what I think, Sonia, is that look at this way. We are today 8 hours screen time, average. And see, I always tell if you are not related to Gen Z, in terms of tracking their consumption, your portfolio will miss out returns. I am a firm believer in that. I believe in what Peter Lynch said. He said, business is where the consumer is. Consumer is 1/3 of the day online. So we will have some of our own Amazons and Netflix and others. So you have to build some part of your portfolio towards it. Look at US, for example. I mean, all 8 companies are essentially technology, digital companies, right? So whether it is Tesla, it's an auto company, but a tech company. Amazon is an e-commerce company, tech company. Netflix has higher market cap than Reliance. I was watching yesterday Vaibhav Suryavanshi, 14-year-old guy, scoring a century. Jio Hotstar had 21 crore views. I mean, if Netflix could be $300 billion, I mean, a Jio Hotstar can be $100 billion, right? We have 150 crore people as customers, right, as audience. So some part of your portfolio has to be digital. You can diversify. So don't take more than 2-3% in one. But whatever will become big, it will not be fight and beggar.
So in the digital landscape ecosystem right now, where do you see the leaders?
So I think Zomato over a period of time will do very well. I think they will keep pivoting. I mean, tomorrow they can get into logistics. They can do 10 things, right? I think Policybazaar, if it does well, I was a little concerned on the decision to go to healthcare. Sometimes when capital allocation changes, you have to wait and watch. So we are seeing how it pans out, right? I still want people to stick to core, but that's my belief. We're looking at Nykaa now because now they've become flexible. They've gone both phygital, right? They're opening stores and fashion. Women fashion is one of the fastest growing segment, and with more women workforce.
But Nykaa also has competition from quick commerce because recently I was talking to a beauty brand who said that 13% or 15% of their business comes from Blinkit, from quick commerce. So women are now, because of paucity of time, women are ordering more on Blinkit than on Nykaa.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is crazy.
So I think it will evolve. So what I'm saying is that, as you rightly said about purpose, you are aware, right? Yeah. So you have to build.
So you buy both Zomato and Nykaa, so you hedge yourself.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I said make a digital portfolio. Let it be 10-15% with like 5-6 ideas instead of, one big idea at 6-7%. And high conviction ideas are others where your more conviction disruption nahi hoga. I think every business can have disruption. So it's not that these guys can have disruption. I mean, tomorrow Reliance can have disruption on oil and gas, for all we say, right? So make that and then gradually, hope that. So I think what will do well will be 50-100x. It will not be 3-4-5x.
Okay.
So you can't afford to miss that out.
So Solar Industries was a big pick of yours. What else? Where else did you create a lot of wealth? Just trying to understand what was the investment philosophy behind it.
See, we also got lucky in the entire this wealth management space. Now, look at this way. Look at a mutual fund, for example. HDFC Mutual Fund ka authorized capital, I think, is 50 crores. They make 2,000 crores almost a year. Now, which business gives you 2,000 crores with 50 crore capital? To make a 2,000 crore, a Solar will have to have an order book of 20,000 crores of Pinaka Rockets, right? So, in asset management business, the cost and all these financial intermediaries, once you create the platform, the revenue goes up, the cost doesn't go up to that. So for example, to manage a 5 lakh crore AUM and a 50,000 crore AUM, the cost will probably only go up 10%. So I call it hockey stick jump in the revenue. So once you cross a scale, the rise in profitability is geometric. It is not linear, right? And most of these businesses, Sonia, are duopoly. You have 2 exchanges. There are 2 depositories. Then there is CAMS and Carvey, basically again split between 2. Asset management now, obviously more companies are coming. So I think, just to figure out how much is needed to generate an X amount of money, simple equation can yield. So that's one space we made a lot of money. I made a lot of money in ICICI Bank and M&M. Okay. Looking at just the leadership chain, because they're the size, I went very big in terms of, see, we always say 10 bagger, 20 bagger, 50 bagger, but हम पैसे नहीं लगाते. I met somebody, he said, I made 20x on this stock. मैंने कहा सर कितना लगाया था? बोला 1 लाख रुपए. I said, what's the point, right? So what happens is that how much you put in, nobody discusses. So I think when Anish came and when M&M started cutting its loss-making JVs, right? And one of my client is the largest distributor of M&M in Dehradun, right? Unka turnover is 1200 crores. So he told me the new engine M&M has made, the diesel engine, I think it was 1.6 liter or something. There was some technical word for it. He's not seen that engine in any SUV. And it's going to be a game changer. And just look at it. XUV 500, Thar, Scorpio.
EVs,
I mean, they had all top 5-6 best-selling SUVs
Correct.
were M&M. I mean, the new EV now.
Yeah.
See, they got that. See, Maruti got that 1.3 liter engine right. They got Swift, they got Baleno, they got Brezza in 2012-13, right? And Maruti made a killing in that
Correct.
4 years. The share became 10,000. I think M&M got this SUV thing right.
But in Maruti, what's your view now? Because the management has been very cautious, and a lot of people are complaining that Maruti has not been able to kind of keep up with the changing technology and all of that.
See, I don't want to be politically
Especially
correct.
EVs.
I don't want to be politically correct. I think people who are only interested in royalty and less on innovation will eventually lose out. And that's what goes with Korean guys. You know, you're not investing here as much. I think they were so late on SUVs and they still haven't got their SUV game right. The EV took them so long to finally admit that EV is catching up. They actually were in denial initially that it won't change. It still may not change. I'm saying, but
Fortunately for them, EVs has not picked up in a big way in India yet.
हाइब्रिड पिक हो गया तो वहाँ थोड़े लकी हो गए राइट तो सो सी यू नो मारुति हैज अ ग्रेट रीच एंड ऑल इट्स वेरी डिफिकल्ट टू डिसलॉज दैट बिकॉज ऑफ द प्राइस पॉइंट
Yeah.
सी टॉप 10 selling cars in India only one car is above 15 lakhs
Acha.
that is Scorpio. So India as a market is still and that is why
in
that
affordable.
6-7
The
lakh
mass
cars
market is still in
but
the
I think this will
affordable
change you know see as the per capita goes up and I don't think so Maruti is ready for it. See you will not pay 30 lakhs for a Maruti car. So a Gen Z will not buy a Wagon R, a Baleno. Sorry, I mean with full respect to Maruti. Okay, the new generation will want an SUV or a slightly smarter hatchback.
The bigger problem is the new generation will not buy a car. That is the
No, I
feedback
agree.
that I get.
I agree.
They'd rather take ride
I
hailing
agree.
services and
I
not
agree. I
want to.
agree.
Anyway, there's too many issues, right? There's traffic, there's pollution, there is taxation. I mean, taxation on cars is
No, I agree. I just think
brutal right now.
because Maruti is already 50% market share, 46. Even if they migrate, they will still be at 40-50%. Somebody like a new player like M&M, which has now gone up to 20. So here it is not volume growth; it is somebody gaining market share, and somebody gain. And that is I look at them. I mean, it's a 4-5x. A large guy giving you 4-5x in 4
M&M.
years. Yeah, I mean, you don't need that. You know, for a. I mean, so you sometimes so basic observation आप देखते हैं ना कि रोड पे कौन सी कार ज़्यादा दिख रही है. I think you would have got that call right.
But आपको नहीं लगता कि auto industry in general in India has been lagging behind in a big way? I don't know for what reason compared
don't
to
agree.
global counterparts.
agree. See-
I mean, China में देख लो like BYD, there are like 10 BYDs in Dubai. If you go to Dubai, you'll see like all around you, right?
So, I think we protected a little bit more than we should have. I think we have this Fiat and Ambassador moment again. We protected them for too long before Maruti came and other models came and then Hyundai came and others came. I think it's good. Whatever is happening, at least from an auto point of view. See, if you go with BYD and the battery ecosystem they created in EV, I mean, if you read about it, about Cartel, which is the largest battery maker, actually first you have to make an EV ecosystem. So India is a very different market. But I think players being on the edge, I think Tata Motors and M&M on innovation are not far behind.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of friends working in R&D and everybody will be positively surprised. See, we were selling the same number of cars as China in 90s. Today, China sells 2 crore cars a year. We sell 40 lakhs.
Why? Why is that?
So, hey, Nina, I'm just affordability. आप नहीं बोला ना. I mean, see, it will gradually, you know, as you see, once you transition from this 3 trillion to 10 trillion, no, as an economy, house and car are the biggest discretionary things. So it will pick up. What you're seeing with luxury housing right now also will happen to car at the slightly upper end. As the economy picks up, as things get back, you will see that number.
अच्छा.
See, it's also the wealth also has to be shown, na. सारा divide में थोड़ी रखोगे आप. I also need to show I've made it in life, right? How do you show that? You show that with a house, with a car,
But
with a
again,
gadget.
like India, like somewhere I read that India is an aspirational economy, right? If you have the money, you will not buy a Maruti car.
That's what I told you. So I'm saying.
So there's a differentiation
Yeah,
in stocks
yeah,
also.
yeah.
Like
So
you'd
I think
rather
the new
pick an
guys-
M&M over a Maruti.
I think the new guys will take over. I would obviously peg M&M because of just the sheer leadership and innovation they're doing. I will not write off Tata's. I think I have a lot of respect for Chandra sir. I mean, just look at what Tata was and what he's done in the last 5 years. And see, back of the mind, he's a techie, right? He has that digital mindset. So I think you'll see a lot of changes Even in Tata Motors, it's 9p by the way right now. So
Yeah.
whatever you're saying probably is in the price.
Yeah, I'm sure. But interesting. So tell us a little more about your investment, philosophy. Like, how do you, going forward, what are the big themes that you're looking at? How are you going to, if you had to advise people how to, structure their portfolio, what would it be?
See, I think one advice I have for everyone, and I've learned it the hard way, is there's nobody here to make money for you. This entire expectation of making quick money, getting tips, joining a WhatsApp group, listening to on television with any of us for that matter, I think is a bad way of making money. My Dadaji used to say, in Punjabi he used to say कि जिथे मेहनत है उत्थे रहमत है, right? So if you don't work hard, you will not get his blessings. And I'm a firm believer in that. And I think the only way to make wealth is hard work. So a lot of people I know quit their jobs, started doing trading. I used to tell them, Mukesh Ambani 5 आदमी नहीं ले सकता 5 crore के. Put them on a terminal and make money. I mean, somebody like him is putting up capex, spending billions of dollars in setting up data centers, gigafactories to aspire for 15% ROE. I mean, you and me listening, to people here and there, how can you make money there, right? So I think there's a I tweeted about this and this went quite viral. मेरे client हैं, Delhi clients are very funny, huh? And he told me, he said, Gurmeet, आराम से पैसा बनाएगा तो 15 साल लगेंगे, जल्दी में तो 25 साल लगेंगे. Right? So if you are in a hurry to make money, the market will tell you this is not the right way to make money. So the first thing you have to understand, this is a slow grind. It is a test match. आराम से बनेगा. Second, the basics are still same. You have to work hard. On stocks, you have to work hard. You can't buy and forget. आपको quarterly call सुननी पड़ेगी. आपको उसका मैनेजमेंट रिपोर्ट पढ़नी पड़ेगी. ये पुराना टाइम नहीं है, वो हीरो होंडा का ऐड था, fill it, shut it, it's not going to happen, right? So it's a grind and you have to go through that grind for 15-20 years to make wealth. Number two, what I learned was that observe things around you. Don't get carried away by the latest facts. In fact, I have made one contraindicator now कि जिस भी फंड का NFO आ जाए, थीमेटिक फंड,
उससे दूर रहना,
वो हाइप हो चुका है. सो सबसे ज्यादा जून में डिफेंस फंड का NFO आने शुरू हो गए थे, मोतीलाल एंड फ्यू पीपल. डिफेंस का
PSU बैंक
डिफेंस का टॉप हो गया था. फिर डिजिटल आना शुरू हो गया कि सब कुछ टेक हो रहा है, तो डिजिटल का टॉप हो गया. फिर माइक्रो कैप्स का एक NFO आया and micro caps were giving 100%. I think right now the most crowded trade is US tech. I think that's the most crowded. Look at this way. Why should an economy which is $30 trillion, which is 26% of the world, be 65-70% of the world market cap? This has to, normalize, right? And this normalizing is trillions of dollars. So I have a feeling, and I know I'm just telling this as an advice, is वापस से textbook investing वाले stocks अच्छा करेंगे. Just go back to the traditional things again. I think we've seen too much of this 10-15 years of high tech, new tech, giving 100, 200.
So you feel like old economy stocks,
I think
like
it's going to,
L&Ts and Asian Paints.
Because they have realized that, look at, they're talking Main Street, not Wall Street. Trump is talking about blue collar workers, right? Every government is now talking of with job growth, not jobless growth. Forget about it. Look at Russell 2000 index in US for 5 years. You'll get the answer. It's not even 8-9% either. And you look at the big tech, which is the mega tech. So I think this disparity in big becoming bigger, and I think this will get. So I think traditional sectors, manufacturing, energy,
power,
all of that will make a comeback. So get back to textbook investing. Again, read up a Peter Lynch. There is a Warren Buffett letter, in 2008-9. Great, good, gruesome companies. Right? And Ramdevji, I think, in Motilal has spoken about it. There's a video, I think, on. I'll try and share that with you, where he said what are great companies, what are good companies, what are gruesome companies. I think to me, that's the best thing I've read in my career. I would encourage everyone through this to maybe read those, I go to Omaha every year just to listen to the old man.
Are you going this year?
This year I'll miss. Last year I went. Before that I did that online. Online thoda aate kharab ho gaya. And once you go there, I mean, 6 o'clock people queue up. It's a stadium. And हम पहले मूवी देखने जाते थे तो सीट के लिए न्यूज़पेपर रखते थे ना. So people keep their seats. There are people coming on crutches and wheelchairs. 50,000 people coming to listen to a guy who's 93-year-old and saying long-term investing. Just look at it. And so, and 93 is telling you to be long-term. right? And we want to make quick money. So that's the only limited point I wanted to make. That look around you what the wise people are doing. Sometimes you're confused, no? So much of information. Just see what the wise people are doing. Warren Buffett is on cash, US, large cash. Naren has been warning you now for last 3 months.
For last 6 months, अभी September
ये fraud है, ये नहीं बनेगा 25-30%, right? And
Rajiv Thakkar sitting on 20%
so
cash.
look at the wise men around you. बाल सफेद हो गए उनके 30-40 साल यही करते हुए. I mean, if they're saying something, pay some heed to it, right? Just be a little more.
So you're also cautious now, matlab over
near term, yes.
1 to 2
near
years.
term, yes. But I'm a bull on India always. I also
I think it's in your personality. You're eternal optimist, है ना?
See, there's a quote, no? The pessimist will sound intelligent, the optimist will make money. So I think वो वही है. So आप देखो ना, कोई economist थोड़ी है top 100 wealth creators में. सारे entrepreneurs ही हैं, and entrepreneurs are risk taking. But I think for next few months just be a little careful. I mean, it's just that. See, मैंने देखा अगर आप 15% के हिसाब से portfolio बनाओ ना, तो बहुत अच्छा पोर्टफोलियो बनता है. आप 20-25% के हिसाब से बनाओ, आप बहुत मिस्टेक्स करते हो. तो स्टार्टिंग पॉइंट ही गलत हो गया ना, तो प्रॉब्लम हो जाएगी. 15 बनाया, 18 आया, 20 आया,
तो उस तरीके से then it's better to just stick to mutual funds, and if you don't have the time and the expertise to do stock picking as a young investor, you should avoid it.
As I said, it's nothing. So I get a lot of dividends. So what I did was I did a calculation. मेरा इतने करोड़ का पोर्टफोलियो होगा, तो मुझे इतने लाख का डिविडेंड आएगा. And I bought some REITs also to boost that and dividend yielding stock. So that I left Citibank. तो मुझे दिमाग में ये था कि मुझे उतनी सैलरी जितना मेरा डिविडेंड आना चाहिए.
अच्छा.
Then that's why I started doing stocks and REITs and all that. I mean, happy to share, I'm almost there now. So अब market गिरता है तो मुझे फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. Because I know I'll get my cash flow.
Correct.
Irrespective.
और डिविडेंड तो आता रहेगा,
क्वार्टरली आएगा, कोई REITs आएगा, कुछ आएगा. I have also built some rental income अभी पीछे कुछ थोड़ा सा मैंने डाइवर्सिफाई किया था. So I get my cash flows and I always look forward. मैं तो खुश, मतलब I know I'm sounding like this, but if you're young and market is falling, ये तो अच्छी बात है. I mean, because you are getting to accumulate more.
Correct.
More
I agree with you.
More stocks. So I mean, be happy for
I
next.
look forward to bear markets. I'm like, अभी opportunity आएगा और अभी मैं पैसा डालूंगी.
3-4 साल अगर market sideways रहे, I'm not wishing that. Don't get me wrong. But for a youngster, it's a great thing. You can accumulate more because जब थोड़ा इकट्ठा हो जाएगा तो you will get a bigger pickup.
तो okay, I wanted to ask you, आपके बच्चे हैं.
Yes.
I am a mother, and we're always, I mean, raising kids today, let's be honest, is a very expensive affair.
Very tough.
So, as an investment strategy, what do you recommend to parents?
See, I have this bias towards a fund because one of my friend and mentor runs it. There's a very good fund, although I'm not supposed to recommend, but I'll tell you what I do. There's a category of mutual fund called Children Fund. Okay, so there's SBI, there's HDFC Children Fund. What this does is it buys a lot of small caps. See, what has unfortunately happened, Sonia, is the small cap funds have become very big. अभी HDFC small cap 30,000 crores है, Nippon 35,000 crores है. अब 35,000 crore में अगर मुझे 2% कोई स्टॉक लेना है, तो 700 crores का लेना पड़ेगा. So my ability to buy
and outperform is tough.
So they become 180-200 stock portfolios, right? Still doing well. I don't know कैसे कर रहे हैं 200 stocks में, but still doing well. So children fund is a category where they only allow children and minors to invest.
अच्छा.
तो 18 के नीचे आप इन्वेस्ट नहीं कर सकते.
18 के नीचे कर सकते
हैं. 18 के ऊपर नहीं कर सकते. My bad. And on 18, the units gets transferred to the major. So by design, you don't look at that portfolio because you have earmarked that for your children.
Okay.
That this children fund will be there for 18.
So you create a separate account for your child and उसमें से you keep
उसमें से मैं
investing.
children fund में SIP करता हूँ. फिर I have a daughter, so I have done that
Sukanya Samriddhi.
I think that I think.
But ये children fund जो है SBI या HDFC fund, how is it different from other mutual funds?
So 80% is equity and largely small micro caps because it's a smaller fund. 20% bonds में रखता है.
अच्छा.
So whenever the market falls, you have the ability. And India, bonds give you 8-9%. So India, staying on cash is not really bad. In a bad cycle. Last 1 year Nifty return is 4%. Bond fund is giving you a 10%. Last 1 year, I'm just giving you a right. So I like this philosophy of this 80-20. My broadly asset allocation, मेरा भी 80-20 है. 80-85 equity. I'm a little more aggressive, and it matches my philosophy. Plus now I know I will not look at this fund till 18. And इसमें एक simple formula मैंने लगाया था कि मेरे बच्चों को 1 crore चाहिए होगा at least. For higher education by the turn 18. तो उसमें एक फॉर्मूला है 15-15-15. 15,000, 15 years, 15% is 1 crore. फिर आप उसके मल्टीपल पे कर सकते हो. 30,000, 15 years, 15% is 2 crores.
Correct.
So and मैंने क्या देखा है, see the all economic models are saying markets are efficient and humans are rational. उल्टा है. Markets are not efficient and humans are more
Very
behavioral.
irrational.
Right? So mental bucketing बहुत important है. So in your mind ना, you should have, okay, this is my children education fund. वो बस piggy bags बनाते थे ना छोटे में. तो ये मेरा children fund है. फिर ये मेरा एक retirement corpus है. ये मेरा house अगर मुझे लेना है. So once you bucket it ना, you know when to exit also. So for example, you have to buy a house and it's let's say 2 years from now, 3 years from now. तो आप वहाँ पे equity कम करोगे, आप balance fund करोगे, bonds करोगे. And moment the goal is reached, you will start withdrawing. The best example of systematic withdrawal is FIS. Look at last 6 months, okay? Have they withdrawn it one day? They were just doing a daily SWP of 4,000 crores.
Correct.
In 6 months, they brought the exposure down in
And
India.
now they've gone back, like, gotten
Again,
back.
they're adding. So I'm saying, when you're accumulating systematically, why are you withdrawing on sudden news? ये war हो गया, ये हो गया. You know, have a plan in place. Right? Keep juggling a little bit. So I think mental accounting to me is very underrated. Once you create buckets, I think the decision to add or exit becomes very clear.
So for your kids, you do only a children's fund, and for your daughter, you've done Sukanya
I
Samriddhi.
also buy some unlisted shares for them,
Acha.
but that's a little aggressive. Not, I mean, it's a little beyond. I don't want to, make it too complicated. But I buy like NS3. I'm a cricket, fan. My son plays cricket, so I bought
CSK.
CSK. So a little bit I do. That's more to give you a bit of a. It's like a tadka on the dal. The dal I want to keep as mutual fund.
कि hockey stick performance हुआ तो इसमें से आएगा.
Yeah, कुछ एक आ गया तो, so
मजा आ जाएगा.
Yeah. So in my
फिर तो
mind,
straight Harvard भेज दो
Yeah,
उसको. NSE listing के बाद.
पढ़ता ही नहीं है अभी. ग्रेजुएशन कर ले तो बड़ी
बट
बात.
ये प्रॉब्लम है, पता है, हम लोग ने इतना क्रिएट करके रखा है ना बच्चों के लिए कॉर्पस ये वो, तो उनको वो जोश ही नहीं है पढ़ने का.
Also, I think Sona, I think we don't make them grow enough on the playground. And I always tell this to people that, सब कुछ अच्छा है. पहली बात तो बताओ मत कितना पैसा है. Because I mean that's very important. Another part of don't make them feel that they have already कर चुके हैं parents, right? Even if you have done. Number one. Number two, थोड़ा सा मेहनत कराओ. सारा time we are on the screen, and sports has this beautiful thing, and I read this somewhere, and it teaches you how to lose. You get out, you'll still pad up and come the next day, even if you scored a 0. You lose a match, again you show up. You show up despite setbacks. And I think a lot of our kids today, I think they're so pampered that they can't take setbacks.
They can't. Yeah.
Right? So I think thoda sa strong banana is part of preparing them. Finance is one part. I think making them mentally strong is the second part.
But what's your plan? I mean, you will obviously, by the time they are 18, 20, you will have built a sizable corpus, a good business.
Correct.
Do you plan to just provide for the education and then, let go? Or do you plan to support them in their entrepreneurial journey? And how do you plan it?
So
I mean, I'm asking about personal, because I just don't know, like, if my son has everything, then he has nothing to work for.
तो मुझे लगता है कि जैसे मैंने बोला, you should not judge them and make them do what you want them to do. I think ये बहुत ज़रूरी है, right? So my son wanted to play cricket, and in my heart I wasn't very sure. It's very competitive, and but he wants to play. And somewhere I also had a personal interest कि यार मैं complete circle बना रहा हूँ, कल को कौन आएगा, but
अरे वो भी एक वैभव बन सकता है यार, why not?
So I think let them express themselves, but at the same time make them work hard. I think if we make a good person, I think finance is a very small part. See, हमारे पास भी कुछ खास था नहीं. I mean, 10-15 years back.
But नहीं था, इसीलिए तो हम लोग ने.
No, but you're assuming that. I'm saying there could be some other trait, which will come over a period of time. Yeah. And now there are so many vocations.
Actually, privilege gives you a lot of access also, right?
Network. हर चीज network है. I always say return on network now. It's like RONW,
Return on network.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I always call it out that, I was able to build a sizable corpus because I had a house. My family home was there. I didn't have to take an EMI. I am from this city.
Oh, that's you're lucky then.
That's what.
Yeah.
So you have to call it out, right? A lot of people cannot build a sizable.
No, these guys will not
corpus.
buy a house even if they don't have one. I mean, you have to study their consumption pattern, and that's why I keep saying your portfolio should reflect that. You give them 9% in FD, they will not do an FD. They will not buy a gold bar, despite gold being at 1 lakh rupees today for a tola. They will spend experience things digitally. They will do more mutual funds. They will do more shares. Unfortunately, they will do more Dream 11 and poker also, and crypto also. And so you have to keep that balance. See, I think this RBI guideline of allowing 10-year-old to operate a bank account, I think it's a game changer.
Really?
Yeah, we have 43 crore minors in India, of which 21 crores are above 10. And I think if you teach them right during their school how to run a bank account, see what you will do. You'll give them a token money in the bank account, and then you'll ask them to save or invest. I think this will build huge savings culture.
Yeah.
And one thing India has always done well in a crisis, our saving rate is 18%. Rest of the world, you have fortnightly salaries. In US, Europe, आप 15 दिन की सैलरी लेते हो, ब्लो कर देते हो. इंडिया में बिकॉज वो सेविंग्स है और एक थोड़ा सा पैरेलल इकोनॉमी है ना, हम हमेशा कुशन रहते हैं. There is always cash. We always believe in saving for the rainy days, and that is why I'm so bullish on India. We will never go below a certain rate of growth because that thing is inherent. And Sonia, look at this way: $10 trillion होगा, 5 साल में नहीं होगा, 7 साल में होगा. 18% सेविंग रेट है. अभी $2 trillion का सेविंग होगा साल का. I mean, I just think, we have the best phase in ahead of us. Next 6, 7, 8 years are the best phase ahead. And if you can educate them now.
Yeah.
मैं खुद 26 साल में SIP शुरू किया.
Same.
No, if you're making your children aware at 12, 14 on savings and all that, imagine where
तो Warren Buffett बन जाएगा.
हाँ, I mean, imagine where he'll be at 30, 35, right? And plus, you have given a corpus.
हाँ.
Right? So,
Assuming I've given a corpus. मैं नहीं देने वाली हूँ.
yeah, I think
मैं तो पहले बोल के रखा है.
other thing I tell people is you will live longer on your portfolio than you will work. See, जो नई सबको फायर है, वो फायर फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट रिटायर. Everybody now wants to retire at 40, 45, 50. Life expectancy is 80.
क्या करोगे तब तक?
आप 30, 40 years आपको portfolio चाहिए जो 12-15% दे.
No, but I don't think when people say they want to retire, I don't think they want to stop working.
No, I'm
I
just
think
saying,
they want to work on their own terms.
Mani, I'm just
basically.
saying that you are dependent on 20, 30, 40 years on your portfolio.
Yeah.
So if it's not growing at 15%, 12%, so I don't think so equity is an option. I think you have to do inflation beating asset class.
Vocation.
Yeah, otherwise आप कैसे करोगे 30, 40 years? Inflation बढ़ता जाएगा, expenses बढ़ते जाएंगे, corpus वही 5% दे रहा है, problem में आओगे.
So you're saying you have to focus more on your work and your
Yeah.
skill set
Work
rather
longer,
than
keep building corpus and have more equity in your culture. अब look at this way. I think Nilesh Shah sir gave me this number. COVID में 2 lakh crore equity में आया from COVID till 24-25. 9 lakh crore was still in cash currency and bank account. तो अभी भी
people are not parting ways with
we are
the
still
money.
6-7% in equity participation, and I'm telling you this is good now. FIs are selling. See, promoters and FIs were 75%. 24% FIs था, 52-53% promoters था. आप DIs ऐड कर दो तो रिटेल के पास था क्या? Look at US. Look at other markets. We are not owning the best asset class.
But why do you think that is? I mean, there's so much awareness now.
Mindset. Ramdev sir told me his marriage got cancelled because they came to know I'm a stockbroker. So उनको convince करना पड़ा in 90s to get married. So it is perceived as a speculation.
Volatile.
I think it धीरे धीरे change होगा. And I think once that changes, people realizes that this is the best investment class. Okay, you name me 100 richest people in the world. Tell me one real estate guy, one gold guy. All of them are equities. So because this is a leverage, no? It's a leverage play, right? So for example, you make 1 crore profit, market gives you 20 crore market cap, 20 times. You make 2 crore profit, market gives you 40 crore market cap. You keep making it, market gives you a 40. So every 1 crore you make, market gives you 30, 40. Which other asset class does that? And I think the new generation is realizing this. The young promoters are realizing this. India में profits are always there. लोग दिखाते नहीं थे balance sheet. इधर उधर कर देते. I think gradually they are realizing ये तो हम अपना नुकसान कर रहे हैं. If I put more here, I'll generate. So I think this culture is not only changing from investing, it's also changing from the second generation entering the business. They want cleaner businesses, more market cap, more liquid assets, and I think that is the biggest.
So what do you think will be the big theme over the next 5 to 10 years? One big theme in which
Energy.
people should invest.
Energy. I think that's one. There is no inconsistency in earnings. There's a complete secularity of earnings. COVID में भी energy demand सबसे जल्दी वापस आया था. घर बैठ के भी people are still figuring out a way to work. And I think you shared this with me that a chat GPT search and a Google search, a chat GPT search consumes 10 times more electricity.
Yeah.
Right. So the bigger beneficiary of data center AI is power. And look at this way. After so many years, everybody is trying to even add thermal now. पहले सब clean कर रहे थे. Now they're like energy चाहिए पहले, right? So energy generation is growing at 12%. I think energy transmission, equipment, value chain, I think this will grow at 20-25%.
So what are the main stocks?
So I think you have to get into grid lines. You have to figure out transformer companies, conductor companies, insulators, HVDC stations. I think the complete value chain, if you map, I think there'll be. अभी 8 लाख करोड़ का सिर्फ ट्रांसमिशन कैपेक्स है अगले 4 years में. Right? The Nandan Nilekani wrote about this. Energy is the new UPI.
Yes.
I mean that says it, right? I mean, so I think that's one. Other one could be telecom.
But you're saying in energy, both renewable and fossil
Both.
fuel.
I'm saying generation will grow at market returns,
हाँ.
10, 12, 13%. So we are at what, 260, 270 gigawatt. Delhi ka kal ka power demand was the highest in last 4 years. It was 500 megawatt or something.
Climate change की वजह से भी.
So हर चीज, अच्छा, manufacturing picks up, housing, more electricity, more data. Everything needs data and power, and the equipments needed, the complete value chain. I think this will be a. So if you want to do one thematic fund, it should be energy. I'm against that, but that's one fund you can do.
Okay, energy. Wow. You said telecom also.
Telecom also, because look at this way.
But telecom में एक winner takes all sort of situation हो
हो ही
गया
गया ना, अभी क्या है, 2.5 players ही हैं. You have Vodafone, Reliance, and एक आधे ही है वो. So I mean, look at this way. Our ARPU of Bharti is 240, less than $3. Jio is 205 rupees, $2.5. ये क्या ARPU है? I mean, I'm just saying that. I mean, just look at it this way. If I have to buy this for 5 years, okay, what if the ARPU is 500 rupees? Still less than $10. World over it's $20, $30. But let's say 500 rupees. So Airtel के पास 40 करोड़ सब्सक्राइबर है. ये 50 करोड़ हो जाते हैं, let's say. 50 crore getting $300, $200 every month extra. Just multiply this. It's a mind-blowing number. See, if you see, I think Airtel alone can generate, and Jio for that matter, can generate about 1 lakh, 2 lakh crores of free cash flows going forward. 30,000-40,000 crore तो करने लग गया है, so debt is coming back. This number will just multiply, and you need data. I mean, the base. Actually, I'm disappointed with Bharti. The Paytm and PhonePe and all should not have come in India. They were the first to get the payment bank license. They went to Africa. Instead of building the digital ecosystem here, I think the model can be pivoted.
But now with Starlink and all coming on board?
That's like $400, $500, $300 से start होता है, यहाँ $3 ARPU है. Competition ही नहीं है. See, Starlink is like Mercedes. You sell 50,000 cars a year. उसमें कंपटीशन आ जाएगा. तो जो 40 लाख गाड़ियाँ नीचे बिक रही हैं, वहाँ पे क्या कंपटीशन? Right? So I think this is a very secular. I don't see any, unless the government does something tomorrow, on spectrum and all.
So both Bharti and Jio are.
I think Jio will also unlock. I have to study what all comes under Jio.
हाँ.
मुझे देखना
अभी तो FMCG भी बढ़ रहा है उनका, telecom
Retail
भी
is
बढ़
also
रहा है.
doing well. I think that's one brand. I think there's one brand of India which can really go global is Jio. So we don't have really a very big global brand, right?
No, we don't.
I think this one brand, if they get it right, I think this could be.
Why do you say that?
I just think they're trying to do too many things right now. I think if they can just focus on Jio as a brand, I mean, there's no point launching more colas and, I think they should just focus on Jio.
On Jio in the sense, telecom.
The entire ecosystem around Jio.
Telecom, retail.
Payments ecosystem. Jio in terms of data center. Jio can be in semiconductor chips. You have a brand which is now known. You have acquired Hotstar, right, which is a global OTT. So you have a brand, and I think if you can build around it, I mean, see, end of the day, you pay for the brand, right?
Yeah.
So that's, I think, there is a chance. Let's see. I mean, we should have our $1 trillion company at some point of time, right? Abhi highest is what? Reliance and HDFC Bank is less than $200 billion. एक भी $1 trillion company नहीं है. 10 trillion होगा तो 2-3 तो बनेंगे ना. So that's why I'm saying I'm not as in camp of कि छोटा ही लेना है, सब medium ही लेना है. I think you have to see the size of the opportunity.
So energy you said and telecom.
I think this is very secular. इसमें ना risk नहीं है. मतलब I'm saying you can do a 5-year, 10-year step and be very happy about these stocks.
अच्छा.
इसमें risk बहुत कम है.
Okay.
In terms of क्योंकि disappointment नहीं होगा ना ज़्यादा earnings में.
और आपने ना एक वो जो वायरल गया था ट्रैवल थीम जो जिसमें आपने इंडिगो के बारे में बोला था, बट यू थिंक दैट्स अ थीम दैट इज प्लेड आउट इन entirety? Because now, I mean, Indian weddings have become a huge thing. Travel has become huge.
No,
how does one capitalize on that?
See, what got me excited about Indigo is when I read this book on Indigo. I'm forgetting the author name. Actually, credit goes to him. I mean, he told me that they save 10 minutes in turning around a flight. So a Vistara or a SpiceJet flight takes about 35 minutes to turn around. Indigo turns it around in 25 minutes. So 10 minutes saved is some 700 flights extra in a year. So they are frugal to the core.
Yeah, as a consumer, you realize that with every flight.
I told about that ovens. They got rid of the ovens in the airline, and that saved them few thousand crores only on fuel. So they think like that, right? So look at so I think travel consumption, because that's again Gen Z is spending more on travel,
on experiences.
Experiences, right? So that's one. I also think this lower middle class moving a notch up is a great thing. Something like what Trent has done. I was looking at some numbers, Sonia. They sell 90 T-shirts every minute.
Trent.
You're
talking about Zudio?
I'm talking about Zudio. And they open 2 stores every day. So last 1 year, they've opened practically 1 store every 2.5 days. It's now a 7,000 crore brand. So what they've done is they got this linking road in Bandra this fashion street in Churchgate, a Sarojini Nagar in Delhi into a mall. Everything is below 1,000. You see, as a normal poor person, if you go to a mall, एक आप पटरी से खरीद रहे हो 300 रुपए का, 400 रुपीज़ का, एक आप मॉल में कोई आपको दिखा रहा है, you're feeling, 50 crore people in India have never been to a mall. See, we feel entitled sitting here, right? To me, I think somebody who's giving that lower middle class an aspiration and experience, I think they've done beautiful. Credit to the management.
And they've kind of captured all aspects, right? There is a Zudio, there is a West Side, there is a Zara.
So it started as a Star Bazaar inside West Side. Then it became Zudio. And now today Zudio is like so many X bigger than West Side. So it was part of that. And so I think this middle class of India, if it's becoming aspirational, somebody who caters to it in terms of consumption. Trent is one example.
But the stock has fallen quite a bit also, right?
6x in 3 years. यार थोड़ा तो गिरेगा. See, we never look at the starting point. See, people told me HL गिर गया. वो 600 से 6000 गया तो आपने नहीं बोला भी वो 6000 से 4000 आ गया तो गिर गया.
So still bullish on Trent.
I think, see, I'm saying anything to do in that pocket. So hotels, model has changed. People are now happy to pay 20,000 a night, 10,000, 15,000 a night.
Yeah.
I was looking at Oyo's profit. It's not listed. 1,100 crores they have made last year. Hotel business, 1,000, 2,000 crore profit, and it was supposed to be cyclical. So I think the entire model is changing. People are willing to spend. So I also think something in hair transplant tomorrow hasn't come up yet. So what do you do when you become? You spend on looking good, feeling good, wearing things better, and abhi to start hua hai. Louis Vuitton became a $500 billion company. You basically appeal on the ego, right?
Yeah.
So I think as we prosper, as more, so people who are catering to that aspiration, I think will become big. That's my take on it.
This has really been an amazing masterclass in like understanding how to invest, how to pick stocks, and we've run out of time, but not out of questions. We're going to do another session very soon with you, Gurmeet. But I absolutely enjoyed this.
Thank you.
Not so much for your stock picking ability, but more for your enthusiasm, your zeal about the markets.
Yes.
And a lot of things stayed with me. I hope you continue to prosper and do everything
All
that
of
you've
us.
always wanted to do. Okay, so we end every show asking people what money means to them. And I'm going to end with you. What does money mean to you?
Two things. One is freedom. I think one thing I've started enjoying about entrepreneurial journey is that I don't get up early in the morning surprised कि ये करना है, ये नहीं किया तो ये होगा. So I work because I love working. I manage public money because I get a kick out of it. I'm not doing it for compulsion anymore. And I can play cricket on weekdays. I miss doing that when I was working in different banks I worked in. So one is freedom.
You don't get stressed about Mondays anymore.
No, not at all. Not any day for that matter. Except, see, I feel bad when investors lose money because I'm the custodian. So everybody feels bad because somewhere you feel there is a sense of responsibility you have. But it doesn't stress me out because I've seen cycles. I know things will get better. Second thing is, I want to do something for my hometown. I've been blessed. We were in a joint family. I was the only one who studied. Rest of them are still there in my hometown. So I want to do something. My dad and my Darji, there's no water in Sagar. Name is Sagar. Pani nahi hai wahan pe. No problem hai.
What an irony.
So we have in our house we have this, you call it a pyau in MP, give free water. So whenever you travel to Sagar, you see a lot of line outside our house, people just taking water from the house. So I want to do something there, for the people because that's where I've grown up. And had my family not pushed me and put me into the business, I would have not been here. So I want to do something there. And third, my wife is very spiritual. So she always tells me to, we have this something in our Sikh, it's called Daswant. Give 10% back. Make God your 10% partner in anything you do, right? So if you make 100 rupees, if you give 10 rupees back, a lot of people make Tirupati as a partner. Some people make Vaishno Devi as a partner. So I have not reached 10%. I aspire to
give back 10%.
I think it's mental. I think I can do more than 10. But what is it with money, right? So I want to be in that stage where I can happily part, at least 10% because that's what, our gurus and our teachings say. And just give it back,
And that teaches you some detachment also.
Money, yeah. So that's what is to me. So I think the second leg, which is doing something for my hometown and getting to 10% is something I think is work in progress.
Okay, I'm sure you'll get there very soon. But, it's so inspirational to see your journey. I've known you for so many years.
God is kind.
And we have, kind of had a similar path.
Yeah. No, and I'm very thankful to, the kind of break I got on CNBC 2018, 2019, I think.
I remember that, yeah.
So, great conversation. And, I see in our, this business is about trust. If you are on good platforms, like the business channels. And I think now this channel, which is podcasting, I think this will I think main channels will become side channels. I think there's a new medium picking up, and I think young people generate, because there it is transactional. You're talking, you have to reply in 2 minutes, right? So, so you're also,
it's very
here it's more free flowing. So, and people want to understand.
I think storytelling is also kind of, gaining a lot of ground. But thank you so much.
Thank you.
It was really fun talking to you. Hopefully we will meet again very, very soon.
Soon.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much.